Welcome to Wisdom Tales of Change, where we navigate the complexities of our world and bring clarity to the stories shaping our future. We get insights from timeless information and wisdom content for wealth and wellness. Get ready to be part of the information across eras for the present while shaping a bright future. Stay engaged, and let's work toward a world built on wisdom and change. Welcome back. Today we're diving deep into a fascinating development in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Retired General Keith Kellogg, recently appointed as Donald Trump's special envoy, has unveiled a new peace plan that's sparking intense debate across the globe. What does this plan entail, and could it truly end the conflict? Let's break it down. Here is the outline. First, we go with the Kellogg's background and experience. The second point is key elements of Kellogg's peace plan. Third, it is Trump's role and the enigma of his policy. The fourth point is possible risks and reactions. Fifth is the peace path as a web of complex interests. Sixth point is about the captured questions and potential challenges. We have gone through Al Jazeera, CNN, BBC, Today, Global, Espresso, HuffPost, Davis Center. FAS. Harvard and Newsweek as the information sources. Point 1. Kellogg's background and experience. General Keith Kellogg is no stranger to high-stakes diplomacy. An 80-year-old veteran of the Vietnam and Iraq wars, Kellogg served as Chief of Staff for the National Security Council during Trump's first term. Now, he's back, armed with a strategy co-authored with Fred Fleitz, advocating for a ceasefire and a negotiated settlement in Ukraine. His plan lays significant blame on the Biden administration, particularly its decision to arm Ukraine and what Kellogg calls a failure of diplomacy with Russia. He argues that these actions have exacerbated the conflict, a perspective that aligns closely with Trump's criticisms of Biden's foreign policy. Second point, key elements of Kellogg's peace plan. So, what's in the plan? Kellogg supports continued military aid to Ukraine, but with a critical condition: Ukraine must engage in peace talks with Russia. This introduces a significant twist. Can peace talks happen in good faith, or will they be a mere stalling tactic by Russia to regroup and strengthen their position? On the Ukrainian side, President Zelensky remains steadfast. He views any pause in fighting as a threat to Ukraine's long-term security, focusing instead on achieving victory and securing NATO membership. This stance puts him at direct odds with Kellogg's suggestion to delay Ukraine's NATO aspirations to bring Russia to the negotiating table. Other key elements include: 1. While postponing Ukraine's NATO membership, he proposes the potential sanctions relief for Russia if a peace agreement is reached, alongside levies on Russian energy sales to aid Ukraine's reconstruction. However, experts express skepticism regarding the feasibility of this approach. Keir Giles from Chatham House warns that Russia may only negotiate from a position of strength, while Ukraine perceives any ceasefire as potentially detrimental to its territorial integrity. Furthermore, the suggestion to delay NATO membership for Ukraine could undermine its security guarantees, making it politically untenable for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Overall, while Kellogg's plan aims to establish a framework for peace, it risks entrenching a status quo that fails to address the core issues of sovereignty and territorial integrity. Third point. 3. Trump's role and the enigma of his policy. Donald Trump has promised to end the war swiftly, but his specifics remain elusive. Reports of private discussions with Putin have been met with denials from Russia, adding to the intrigue. Meanwhile, his vice president, J.D. Vance, has hinted at a more proactive approach, proposing a demilitarized zone along the current line of control, a move that Ukraine is unlikely to accept. The choice of Kellogg as special envoy suggests a return to a more traditional, assertive foreign policy, diverging from Trump's earlier isolationist rhetoric. But how this will play out in practice is anyone's guess. Donald Trump's foreign policy has often been characterized by an America-first approach, emphasizing transactional relationships over traditional alliances. His past decisions include: 1. Withdrawal from international agreements, such as the Iran nuclear deal and the Paris Climate Agreement, signaling a preference for bilateral negotiations rather than multilateral frameworks. 2. a tendency to prioritize U.S. interests over those of allies, which has led to skepticism among European partners regarding his commitment to NATO and collective defense. These patterns suggest that Trump's approach to the Ukraine conflict may focus on achieving rapid results through direct negotiations with both Russia and Ukraine. His claims of being able to resolve the conflict within 24 hours reflect a desire for swift action but lack detailed strategic planning. Analysts warn that such an approach could overlook the complexities of geopolitical dynamics and the entrenched positions of both nations. Point 4. Risks and reactions. The potential consequences of Kellogg's plan are enormous. Critics warn that a premature ceasefire could solidify Russia's territorial gains and give them time to regroup, setting the stage for future conflicts. There's also the risk of weakening international resolve, particularly among Western allies, some of whom might favor a quick end to hostilities over a long-term strategic victory for Ukraine. On the global stage, a hasty withdrawal of U.S. support could embolden adversaries like China, signaling a retreat from America's role as a guarantor of international security. The stakes couldn't be higher, but responses from both Russia and Ukraine to Kellogg's plan are likely to be complex. 1. Russia may view the proposal as an opportunity to solidify its territorial gains while appearing cooperative in negotiations. However, Moscow's historical reluctance to engage meaningfully in peace talks raises doubts about its willingness to accept terms that do not guarantee its interests in Ukraine. Ukraine, on the other hand, isn't likely to accept a plan that conditions military support on negotiations without robust security guarantees. Zelensky has previously emphasized that any ceasefire must be accompanied by assurances against further aggression from Russia, reflecting a deep-seated mistrust of Moscow's commitments. The political ramifications of conceding territory or delaying NATO membership could also provoke significant backlash domestically. In summary, while both parties might express openness to dialogue, their fundamental positions on territorial integrity and security guarantees present substantial obstacles. 5th point, a web of complex interests. The path to peace is fraught with competing interests. Ukraine insists on reclaiming all its territories, including Crimea, while Western allies debate the extent of their military and economic support. Meanwhile, Trump's America First rhetoric resonates with some, but a diminished U.S. presence in Ukraine could destabilize the broader international order. Kellogg's plan is just one piece of a much larger puzzle, and its success hinges on navigating these complex dynamics carefully and thoughtfully. As we wrap up tonight's report, one thing is clear. Achieving peace in Ukraine requires more than just ceasefires and negotiations. It demands a fundamental shift in mindset, a commitment to addressing the root causes of conflict and finding common ground. There might be also potential challenges. 1. Russian and Ukrainian negotiating positions. Russia might only negotiate from a position of strength, while Ukraine seeks to regain all occupied territories. 2. Internal disagreements within the Trump administration. Kellogg's plan might face opposition from other officials. 3. Congressional and public opinion. A negotiated settlement involving concessions could face pushback. 4. Maintaining transatlantic unity. Kellogg's plan might strain relations with European allies who strongly support Ukraine. A need for reflection. Other alternative strategies should be attempted, like 1. Incremental diplomacy. Pursuing incremental agreements that build trust over time rather than seeking an immediate comprehensive solution can give accurate results. This could involve humanitarian ceasefires or localized agreements aimed at reducing hostilities gradually. 2. International mediation. While putting down political hypocrisy and engaging neutral parties, this could facilitate dialogue without the perceived biases of major powers like the US or Russia. This approach may help in addressing some concerns about sovereignty and territorial integrity more equitably. Each potential pathway carries its own set of challenges but may offer more viable long-term resolutions compared to Kellogg's conditional proposal. Here at Wisdom Tales of Change, we believe in the power of informed dialogue and collective action. What does a truly just and lasting peace in Ukraine look like to you? Stay engaged.